So I think I am alive. Let me just see if anybody comments to see if they can see me. I'll just double check if you can see me. And you see me saying I'm alive and you can please make a comment because it's not always clear. Okay, you're live. Great. So yeah, you're gonna have to be a little bit patient with me. It's a bit glitchy on Facebook for me, but here I am nevertheless. And welcome to this week's energy report. I decided I make a big decision to start to come live a little bit more, and so the weekly podcast will be done live. That will just allow for some engagement as well. So I'm here from the southwest of France. I'm reporting from the Sacred Rose Temple. I'm currently in my snug downstairs because it's -8 here and absolutely freezing. So I'm hugging the stove as the heating today has been, the chimney sweep's been. I've not been able to have the heating on. So yeah, I'm delivering this from a very cold France, and it feels really apt actually because it's that time of year, isn't it? And that's what the energy report's about this week. It's about the depression that we have after we've just had the holiday season. And however we've celebrated that, whether we celebrate that in a Christian or a really like earth-based worship way, or maybe a non-Christian way, because it's a collective energy, that there is this heightened feeling that happens around this time. And it was always meant to, our celebrations were always at this time of year because it gave us something to look forward to in the depths of winter when it was like really dark and it was asking us to go in introspect. But whenever we've gone through something really like uplifting for some of us it could have been a very dark and difficult time. We always have the polarity of feelings. So after the solstice in the ancient times, there would have been this feeling of deep down darkness. Now we've had to have that light through at the solstice on the 21st so that we could have this something to hold on to. Think about the light that comes through on the solstice, this Christ light, this divine child light that gives you the hope and the encouragement that even though you're going to go down there, even though it's going to feel really quite depressive, that this light will pull you out like a guided like rope of light. But we are meant to go down, and more so now in this week. If you are already feeling quite emotional, you're feeling like something ugly is moving. I felt it all day yesterday. I was in like a little bit of a stew. I had these feelings. I really didn't want to face them. They didn't feel nice. But I know that it's to do with the movement forward. And that's what happens now. You are being asked to move forward, to be thinking about the movement forward. But that ain't going to happen unless you sit with what is stagnating and what is not moving. So this is key. I want you to realize that as we descend further in, the psyche is asking you to be more honest with yourself. It This time of year was always meant to be the time of year where we went into our shadow, where we felt down, where we kind of accepted that this wasn't a positive vibes and I didn't need to be feeling good all the time. That came in spring and summer. And actually, what's happened collectively is we've stopped doing that. We've stopped allowing ourselves this down in descending time. And so we carry it all the way through the wheel all the year. But I'm not going to do that. I want to deal with what's asking me to go down right now so that I can break free in the spring and then in the summer have like joy and happiness. I won't carry depression if I deal with it now. So your psyche is asking you to be more honest. And the collective nervous system this week is also going to get really tired of performance, of masks, of the persona, of optimism, and of the general spiritual bypassing bullshit. It's going to get tired of it because the depression of this time compresses the psyche so that we get squeezed, so that the grief or the emotion or the things that we haven't faced that are going to disrupt us eventually are brought to the surface now. So we're being squeezed like a tube of toothpaste, really, to expel all of those things that we might be harboring in. So think about this in the way of, we're looking at heavier mornings, for example. Your morning is going to feel really heavy. You're not going to want to get out of bed. You're just not. So I want you to, honor that, that it's okay for you at the minute to say, I don't want to get out of bed. This is not going to be a lifelong habit. You're the bear in winter. So feeling things like heavier mornings, less motivation this week, you're not going to be motivated. It's the wrong time to go back to the start on your exercise or gym plan or all of that. If you're just not feeling it, you're not meant to. The body is going to be also really speaking to you. Like, I can feel my psoas is a little tight, my shoulders are like hunched from the cold. So what's going on with your body? I'm also recovering from a virus. Think about what's going on in your body. And the biggie for me is definitely I've got less tolerance. Less tolerance for people in general, less tolerance for noise, and any expectations that people are placing on you or you are placing on yourself. So don't be shocked if you get a little bit niggly with people, like people do your head in, or that you just cannot deal with Janet from the office this week because she's just driving you insane. It's not Janet's fault. It's the time that we're in. We're really in that time where we're a little bit prickly, and we're prickly because we've got those things going on underneath that we need to get to. So this low depression, this psyche is trying to consolidate identity. It's trying to say, this is what I'm no longer carrying, no longer dealing with, no longer wanting to be in the cycles of. And if you can recognize those cycles, that is powerful. You can then consolidate your identity and say, okay, this is what I'm shedding and leaving behind. Because those old adaptations that you were even in a cycle ago are no longer good for you. That's how cyclic we are. We are coming into this wheel part where we shed at this point, always. So you might be mourning. I know that I am, a version of me that I've left behind last year. A version of me that's coming in. I don't know who she is, what she looks like, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like this year for me is the end of my 40s. I'm coming into my 50s, and that I'm allowed the grief of that. I'm allowed to feel what Colette in her 40s looked like at the beginning towards the end, and really want to shed that. So think about the cycle that you're in and what sadness is still there that needs to be let go of, and what inner gravity is going to pull you with that white light as you come through the solstice. So it's really, really important that you really allow this, because this is a big chance to work with it. And the other thing that is also really helping this week is that we have Saturn in Pisces, and this is a core backdrop. This is when Saturn comes in Pisces, we get emotional weight. So if you've been crying and erratic, then this is why. You'll get really tired, and your body will be giving you a reality check. It will be saying, you're tired, you've got a virus, you need to stop. It will show you, look in the mirror, look in your eyes. I've got a sore on my face. Like, literally, my body's telling me at the moment, rest, rest, rest. For me, my body's showing I need oil, I need warmth. Like, what's your body showing you? Are you listening? Are you giving it the very things you need? Being a Celt, I am craving potatoes. I can't stop eating potatoes, and I'm going to do that. It's very ancestral for me. So, what's your body craving at this time? Why is it craving it? We are in the Saturn in Pisces energy going to get rid of very old spiritual identities too. Think about your spiritual path. Think about things that you believed in. I've got a little internal laugh going on about things like twin flames and all of that nonsense. Sorry, that's personal for me, that I don't believe in anymore. What is it that has changed in you? What old spirituality is leaving you, and what new spirituality is coming in? It's really important to think about what was the old spiritual self like and what does the new one look like. And you might be looking at a different version again next year. Hopefully that's evolution. Illusions will be showing themselves this week. Illusions about love, the love that you've got in your life or you haven't got or you did have. Illusions about your purpose. I had a very big dream about purpose and it's fallen flat on its face. Your illusions about your service, how new versions are coming through, they're all going to fall away. And you will be feeling quite disappointed. I'm sorry, there will be disappointment if you can admit that about yourself, your circumstance, or whatever. And you're going to feel lonely. Even if you're in a relationship, even if you've got family all around you, even if you've got a great community, you will feel a loneliness inside of you. And I really want to exaggerate this loneliness and ask you to face it. To face a depth of loneliness really takes us into the deepest spiritual self. It's been known over time with the sages and the hermits and the mystics that loneliness, going into the desert for 42 days, going up to the Himalaya, like that, facing loneliness really gets you to know yourself on a very deep level. And I want you to focus on that this week. Where is it you feel lonely? Are you brave enough to feel the loneliness that is held in you? And like I said, you don't need to be alone to feel that. You really don't. There's been times of my life where I have felt deeply lonely around a lot of people, or even with being on my own now. My son's gone back, I'm alone again in the house apart from the dogs. And what does that feel like? What does it bring up for me? And what do I have to face with deep loneliness? It is an opportunity that, and Larissa's saying it, that not everybody always has. But even in company, you can still take that space to feel that loneliness, because in there, I truly believe it's where we meet the deepest part of ourself, and where we search for the divine, where we search for God, where we search for the goddess. It really takes us into a womb space that opens up with just you there. What does that feel like? And that's a theme that can be absolutely, really, truly explored on many levels. But even at this point in the collective time, to just go into it. And we can do that if, like I said, you just plan fewer things, take more space, have a deeper listening, because the psyche really wants to build this. And the reason that Saturn in Pisces is also really helping us with this energy is because, as you know, there's also this undercurrent with Pluto in Aquarius, which has this feeling of a long-term collective transformation. It's not just me, you, and everyone in this group that's feeling this. You know that the world is feeling this actual big shift about belonging, community, identity, where they actually belong right now. It used to feel so isolating. You know, I've been doing this work for what, 30 odd years now. But now I'm seeing posts and people saying, like, why am I here? What am I doing? What am I searching for? I'm longing community. It's becoming a common language. So Saturn and Pluto together are stripping the ego. They're trying to get us to go into the self, to take a big look into the emotional truth, the loneliness, to strip away all the illusions of life, all these things that keep us like stuck in being busy and doom scrolling and all of this. And they're asking us to go deep, deep into the self. So I'm going to ask you an honest question before I race us forward into the horse. But how much space are you truly taking? How much quiet time with no distractions, no tools of aid? And we all have things that try to rebalance us. What is the amount of space you're giving yourself at the moment? Is it enough? Could you give more loneliness, quiet space? At the moment, my meditations got smaller, and I'm actually spending that time just sat with myself and my feelings, trying not to get too carried away with thoughts, but just being and feeling and sensing. So give yourself a mark out of 10 as to what you feel you're allowing for yourself to deepen into this. How much are you really facing the feelings that come up? I was squirming yesterday, all day yesterday. I was squirming with these really, I didn't like the way I felt. And I didn't, I spent the evening trying to face it and sat with it and let the tears come and the loneliness and all of that be felt. And today, you know, I feel better. It's still there, and it is emotion, and we get really scared of emotion, don't we, Michelle? Like really scared. We think it's gonna take us down, and it's not. We've got the glimmer of light. And those of you that worked with the solstice with me, just hold on to that glimmer of light, hold on to that beautiful, beautiful thread of light and hope that is trying to pull us through this, always pull us through this. And yeah, know how distracted we are. I love all you ladies. You're also humble and honest about, what we're facing. So yeah, things that distract us, and just sitting in feeling, placing your hands under your bum, put your tarot cards away, light your candle, and sit with your feelings. Nothing else. I dare you. Lots will shift, I promise. That's why they went to the caves and to the deserts, so that there was absolutely no distraction and they could just go into this feeling. Take the opportunity, do 5-10 minutes this week, just softly, gently, and see what opens up. So I want to just like spend the last 5-10 minutes on the year of the horse. Oh, I did a class this time last year on the snake and shedding all those versions, and how true was it, all those sheddings that have happened. And now, whoa, we're in this energy of the fire horse. Holy moly. Like, I'm almost a little bit scared about this year, because the fire horse is, the horse has so much symbology. I've just been writing all the materials for the course that I'm doing, and she is like mighty. She holds with the Celtic lineage a huge, massive understanding of the other world. The horse transports us into the other world. She also is all about exposure, inner coherence, moving with pace, being in this good trot, this big pace. I know Larissa's got horses, so she will know the nature of the beast. If you work with horses, you'll know the nature of the beast that we are dealing with, particularly if you have a horse of a fiery nature and what that means. There's no more numbing, there's no more avoiding, there's no more freezing. This year is going to be about embodied decisions. Ambiguity, you're not going to want to deal with anything that's ambiguous because it's going to take you nowhere. The fire horse is not ambiguous, she knows where she's going. Relationships that don't have direction, work that doesn't have meaning, you ain't going to trot with that. You're really not. We are going to have to take up a movement practice. If you are not doing a movement practice, please find one, a yoga, a walking club, anything but move. This is going to G up the fire horse energy, and your body will feel the motion and the movement. And if you do not move with it, you're going to get body pains and stuff going on with the bodies this year. I really see people's physical being not being too good if they're not actually in some movement base. So please, like that came through to me very strongly about movement being utterly important. So get moving, start thinking about how that movement's going to come for you. We're still in the descent, so it's going to be gentle. It's going to be a gentle movement, but you're going to be building up the trot as the year goes on. So start gently now. But the fire horse, I think the biggest thing that I'm going to be teaching about the fire horse in all its symbology, we've got all the goddesses that are related. Epona is a huge goddess related to the energy of the horse, but mostly it's going to be about having pace all every month. And that's why I offered a bigger course so that I could meet everybody every month and give them the pace for the month. Because from January, we're going to be building the pace until we go from a steady walk to a trot to a canter and then in full racehorse ahead by the time summer comes. And we want to keep up with this because it's going to shift us hugely. I want to say that because I want you to feel how frustrating it's been over the last few years, particularly last year, where things have not felt like they were moving. You know, we have not felt that we have been moving enough. It's felt very stagnated, very stuck. Some of us might have had small celebrations in moving certain things, but it hasn't been full gusto. Well, that's coming. So just rest assured that what we've been doing in this like 9-year cycle that's completed now has been setting the ground for the horse to run with this year. So we can all kind of give ourselves a little pat on the back and say, gosh, we weren't as stuck as we thought, nor were we running round in circles. We were actually doing the labor for what's to come this year. So I don't want to give you too much more because obviously we're in January and we're at the very, very beginning, and the energy forecast really is just about taking that time. If you're going to take anything from what I've shared, it's about taking the time to make space to do nothing. Do nothing. Sit with how you feel. Ask yourself, how do I feel? What don't I want to face? What's here now? Because believe me, it's not hidden. It is there. It's right there. It's like the shadow in the corner or the elephant in the room. It's there with you, but maybe you are just not facing it. And now is the time. Otherwise, you're going to have a really difficult year with it because the energy will push and pull you. It will push and pull you, push and pull you uh, until you see it. So we're not here to feel better yet, but we're here to feel true and the truth. And we're here to feel the emotions and maybe any grief that still really want wants to leave us. That ego stripping, feeling the pull of the horse. There's lunar nodes in Pisces and Virgo as well, which is these karmic lessons. And I don't think I need to say much about them because that's appearing as that elephant in the room, or the things that are dragging us down. This will all benefit us. It really is in all our benefit. But I think the astrology this week is asking us to slow down emotionally. It's asking us to listen before we act. It's asking us to let grief and old emotions leave. Trust our instincts over strategy. And believe me, you cannot feel instinct if you're disconnected from your body all the time or not sitting with your feelings. And be feeling that we're preparing for movement, because the horse will move when alignment is real. That's what will happen. Your horse will absolutely move when the alignment's so right. So before I go, I just want to say thank you all for being here, and know that you're not alone in this. Like, I'm literally here with you all, and I've got the privilege to work with so many beautiful women in groups that are sharing this time, and this group is meant for those shares. So please share. This is a closed group. Everything you post in here doesn't get seen anywhere else. This is one of my most kind of like secure groups. So please share what you're facing, what you're challenging, how difficult it is for you to sit with yourself in silence, or to sit and feel your feelings. We're not perfectionists at all. I'm sitting here with a scabby face, and I've felt ill and emotional and wrestled with it. Like, this is the way we are as humans. And so be real, be authentic. This is going to serve us really well as we move through this year, that deep authenticity and ability to say, hey ho, I'm really struggling. So big love to you all, and hopefully by the time next week comes, I'll have mastered this whole Facebook Live a little bit and be able to bring in people and do more like talk connected. But for now, let's just take a big deep breath together, close our eyes. Oh, and just take a big deep breath and notice how good it feels to exhale. Feeling that exhale and just feeling that safety of being in the descent. And for me, just bringing in the word womb when we speak of descent allows us to be aware that we're being held by the mother, actually, as we come into descent. Descent is always about the great mother. It's always about being held in a womb space, being nurtured. So feel that the energy of the dark here as we connect is the womb, that it's holding you, that it's gathering you, it's gestating and growing you. And another big deep breath as you allow your nervous system to just feel recalibration in being in the womb space. A deep sigh. Notice as you sigh if there's any spaces in the body that hold on to tightness. And take a few breaths there, allowing yourself to alleviate the tension. And then from my womb to your womb, I'm sending you much love and blessings. May this week be one that illuminates and sets you free from some of the old things that are ready to leave. So take care and bye for now.